In the serene town of Millbrook, nestled just beyond the bustling city of Hartford, Connecticut, a horrific crime shattered the tranquil life residents believed they enjoyed. On a chilly September morning in 2018, the body of 17-year-old Sarah Thompson was discovered in the woods behind her family's home. This shocking find sent fear rippling through the community, with people locking their doors and murmuring about a killer possibly living among them. Detective Michael Carter, a seasoned officer from the Hartford Police Department, was summoned to spearhead the investigation. With his keen intellect and unwavering commitment, he dove into the case, unaware that it would test his deepest beliefs and reveal the darkest facets of human nature. Initially, suspicion fell on Sarah's stepmother, Amanda Wilson, whose strained relationship with Sarah was no secret among neighbors. Many speculated that jealousy drove Amanda to commit the crime, giving her a clear motive. Yet beneath what appeared to be a straightforward case lay a tangled web of deceit, secrets, and fatal decisions. At the heart of it all stood Robert Wilson, Sarah's stepfather, a well-regarded businessman and prominent figure in Millbrook. To the public, he was a grieving father standing by his wife in their time of loss. But Detective Carter soon uncovered the lies Robert was concealing, lies that would ultimately unravel him. This is the tale of a murder that tore a family apart, challenged a detective's instincts, and exposed the deadly consequences of hidden secrets and selfish desires. It serves as a stark reminder that the most dangerous individuals can sometimes be those who appear utterly ordinary, living right next door. Sarah Thompson was a vibrant, optimistic young girl whose life was tragically cut short just weeks before her 18th birthday. Born in 2001 to her single mother, Amanda Thompson, Sarah was curious and passionate about learning from an early age. She had a deep love for art and reading, earning praise from teachers for her imaginative mind and insightful writing. Her artwork adorned the walls of her school, and recently she had taken up photography, particularly in the forest near her home, the very forest where her life would end. Despite her success in academics and art, Sarah's home life was far from ideal. When she was 12, her mother married Robert Wilson, a successful man who brought financial stability to their lives. At first, Sarah welcomed the security, but as she entered her teenage years, her relationship with Robert deteriorated. They clashed frequently, and tensions simmered between them. Friends described Sarah as kind yet fiercely independent, with a tight-knit group of companions and a refusal to stay silent when others were mistreated. Her best friend Emily Chun recalled Sarah's dream of attending New York University to study journalism, aspiring to become a reporter who uncovered hidden truths. Sarah's bond with her mother, Amanda, had always been complex. For years, Sarah was the center of Amanda's world, but after Robert entered their lives, Amanda prioritized her marriage, leading to frequent arguments and emotional distance between mother and daughter. In the months leading up to her death, Sarah's demeanor shifted. She grew quieter, spending more time alone in her room or wandering the woods with her camera. Her artwork took on darker themes, and her schoolwork began to falter. Emily noticed something was amiss, but Sarah would smile and deflect whenever pressed. Unbeknownst to anyone, Sarah's relentless curiosity had led her to uncover a dangerous secret, something someone was desperate to keep buried, even if it meant killing to protect it. Sarah Thompson's promising life, filled with talent and ambition, was stolen far too soon. Her death plunged Millbrook into grief and ignited a mystery that would forever alter the town. Robert Wilson was 45 when Sarah was killed, the epitome of suburban success. Confident and articulate, he worked as a financial advisor, running a thriving company in Hartford that managed the wealth of the city's elite. With his polished demeanor and leadership in the community, he was a member of the local Chamber of Commerce and coached a youth soccer team. Hailing from a working-class Boston family, Robert had climbed the social ladder through charm, intelligence, and relentless ambition. He met Amanda Thompson at a 2012 charity event, and their whirlwind romance culminated in marriage just 8 months later. To outsiders, Robert seemed like an ideal husband and stepfather, bringing wealth and stability to Amanda and Sarah's lives. But beneath this flawless facade, he harbored dark secrets. His marriage to Amanda had grown stale, prompting him to seek excitement elsewhere. For the past year, he had been entangled in a passionate affair with Elena Gonzalez, the wife of his neighbor and close friend David. This wasn't a fleeting dalliance. Robert felt more alive with Elena than he ever had with Amanda. Their clandestine meetings, hidden from their spouses, fueled his desire to maintain this secret life. Robert became adept at deception, fooling his family, friends, and even his clients. As Sarah matured, he grew uneasy around her. Her sharp mind and observant nature made him fear she might uncover his affair, so he began avoiding her, skipping family dinners with flimsy excuses. Those who knew Robert described him as affable and dependable, always ready with a joke or a helping hand. David Gonzalez, unaware of the betrayal, often called Robert the best friend and neighbor anyone could have. His clients trusted his confident assurances about their finances. Yet those closest to him noticed subtle changes. His assistant observed his growing irritability, and a college friend remarked on his constant tension, as if he were always watching his back. No one suspected that behind Robert's composed exterior was a man willing to do anything to safeguard his secrets. On the morning of September 15, 2018, everything changed. A jogger following his usual route through the woods behind the Wilson home stumbled upon a horrifying sight: Sarah Thompson's body, partially concealed under leaves and branches. It was evident someone had tried to hide her, but the scene was gruesome. Detective Michael Carter arrived swiftly, scrutinizing every detail. Sarah's body bore marks of a violent struggle, bruises on her arms and face, and defensive cuts on her hands, indicating she had fought desperately. The cause of death was unmistakable: a deep neck wound, likely inflicted with a serrated blade. As the forensic team combed the area, Carter noted critical clues. Sarah's camera, which friends said she always carried in the woods, was missing. Drag marks and disturbed vegetation suggested her body had been moved to delay discovery. There were no signs of sexual assault, leading Carter to believe the motive was personal, not random. The ferocity of the attack suggested a crime of passion, committed by someone Sarah knew, who had lost control in a moment of rage. As news of the murder spread, fear gripped Millbrook. The once trusting town, where doors were left unlocked, now saw residents double-checking their bolts. Parents forbade their children from playing outside, and the woods, once a place of joy, were cordoned off with yellow police tape. Detective Carter, with 20 years at the Hartford Police Department, led the investigation with meticulous focus. Known for his attention to detail and ability to spot what others missed, he had cracked some of the department's toughest cases. Standing in the Wilson home, gazing at their family photos, he sensed this case would be unlike any other, a challenge that would push him to his limits. The first 48 hours were a whirlwind. Carter and his team interviewed family, friends, and neighbors, reviewed Sarah's school records, and scoured her social media for clues about her final days. Robert Wilson, appearing devastated, provided a detailed account of Sarah's whereabouts the night she vanished, claiming he was working late at his office. Security footage and his assistant's statement corroborated his alibi. Amanda Wilson, Sarah's mother, seemed distraught, struggling to stay composed during questioning. She admitted to a heated argument with Sarah the night before her disappearance, but insisted it was typical mother-daughter friction. As Carter delved deeper, he uncovered turmoil within the Wilson household. Neighbors reported frequent loud arguments between Sarah and Amanda. Emily Chun, Sarah's best friend, revealed that Sarah felt trapped and misunderstood at home. Early forensic findings offered no clear answers. Trace evidence on Sarah's clothing didn't match Robert or Amanda, and the suspected murder weapon, likely a hunting knife or jagged blade, wasn't found despite thorough searches of the Wilson property and nearby woods. Then a crucial lead emerged. Carter interviewed Elena Gonzalez, the Wilsons' next-door neighbor, who seemed nervous. She mentioned witnessing Amanda and Sarah arguing in the driveway the day before Sarah's death, and suggested Amanda was jealous of her daughter's youth and beauty. With this insight and the dysfunctional family dynamics, Carter zeroed in on Amanda, suspecting pent-up resentment might have erupted into violence. He secured a warrant to search Amanda's belongings and messages, hoping to uncover evidence to crack the case. Yet even as he built a case against Amanda, something nagged at Carter. Robert's calm demeanor and airtight alibi felt too perfect, almost rehearsed. Unbeknownst to Carter, his instincts were steering him toward a far darker truth, one more sinister than he could have imagined. At this stage, every clue pointed to Amanda Wilson, At 42, she was now the prime suspect in her daughter's murder. Carter's team uncovered a series of hostile text messages between Amanda and Sarah in the weeks before the killing. In one particularly venomous exchange, Amanda accused Sarah of sabotaging her marriage, to which Sarah retorted, calling her mother a jealous, pathetic old woman. These messages revealed a fractured family dynamic teetering on the edge of collapse. Amanda's behavior after Sarah's death further fueled suspicion. Though she initially appeared grief-stricken, she became evasive and defensive during questioning. Her alibi for the night Sarah died was flimsy. She claimed to have stayed home watching TV, but no one could verify it. A search of the Wilson home uncovered a diary hidden in Amanda's nightstand, its pages filled with her mounting resentment towards Sarah. She wrote of envying Sarah's beauty and the attention Robert paid her, with one chilling entry stating, "Sometimes I wish she'd vanish. Life would be easier without her always watching, always judging." A neighbor reported seeing Amanda return home in the early hours of the day Sarah was found, a detail Amanda couldn't explain, claiming she might have been sleepwalking, a condition she'd never mentioned before. As this evidence mounted, public outrage grew. Carter faced pressure from his superiors and the media, all demanding accountability. Amanda, once viewed as a grieving mother, was now branded guilty by her neighbors. Though Carter was confident in her guilt, something about Amanda's fear and confusion during questioning didn't align with the image of a ruthless killer. Still, the evidence seemed airtight. On a rainy Tuesday morning, 3 weeks after Sarah's body was found, Amanda Wilson was arrested. As officers escorted her from the house in handcuffs, she screamed her innocence, her cries echoing through the stunned neighborhood. Robert stood in the doorway, watching silently, his expression blank as his wife was taken away. But Carter didn't yet realize he'd been ensnared in a trap. The true killer remained free, cloaked in lies. Despite the compelling evidence against Amanda, Carter couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. Then a small detail shifted everything. While reviewing footage from local shops near the Wilson home, Carter noticed something odd. Robert's car left his office parking lot much earlier than he'd claimed on the night of the murder. Intrigued, Carter dug deeper into Robert's life, re-interviewing his co-workers and clients. During a conversation with Robert's assistant, Carter learned that Robert had been making frequent, unexplained trips to a cafeteria across town during lunch breaks. Security footage from the cafeteria revealed the truth. Robert was meeting Elena Gonzalez, his neighbor's wife, their secretive smiles and intimate body language betraying a relationship far beyond friendship. Confronted with this evidence, Carter questioned Elena again. This time she crumbled, confessing that she'd lied to protect Robert. They'd been lovers for over a year, meeting whenever possible. Overwhelmed with guilt, Elena admitted she'd also lied about Robert's whereabouts the night of the murder. They'd been together, disproving his claim of working late. His entire timeline began to unravel. As Carter probed Robert and Elena's affair, more lies surfaced. Emails revealed they were planning to flee together, abandoning their families, and Robert had been transferring large sums of money overseas. Carter now faced a chilling question. Could Robert Wilson, the seemingly heartbroken stepfather, be Sarah's killer? The motive wasn't yet clear, but flaws in Robert's perfect facade were starting to show. Carter realized he'd been so focused on Amanda that he'd nearly overlooked the truth staring him in the face. The investigation took an unexpected turn when Emily Chun, Sarah's best friend, approached Carter with a small leather book, Sarah's personal diary. Riddled with guilt, Emily admitted she'd hidden it initially, fearing it might tarnish Sarah's memory. But with Amanda as the prime suspect, Emily knew the truth outweighed secrecy. Carter spent the night poring over the diary, which laid bare the fears of a young girl confronting something terrifying. In entries from months earlier, Sarah voiced suspicions about her stepfather's affair, noting secretive texts, hushed phone calls, and his odd behavior. The most damning entry, written just 3 days before her death in shaky handwriting, described following Robert one night and witnessing him embrace Elena Gonzalez. Sarah wrote of her disgust and betrayal, torn between telling her mother or confronting Robert herself. This revelation completed the puzzle. Sarah had uncovered the affair, giving Robert a powerful motive to silence her. Exposure would have cost him his reputation, wealth, and carefully curated life. Armed with this knowledge, Carter revisited the forensic evidence, requesting a closer analysis of Sarah's clothing. This time, a critical find emerged. Fibers on Sarah's jacket matched the rare material of Robert's expensive suits. Further, Sarah's phone records showed multiple short calls to Robert's office on the day she vanished, suggesting she may have tried to confront him. Carter also discovered that Robert had purchased a hunting knife from a sporting goods store a week before the murder, a knife now missing from the Wilson home, but matching the weapon used in Sarah's killing. The pieces fell into place. Robert had not only deceived his family and neighbors, but had manipulated the police into targeting Amanda. Carter felt a mix of admiration for Robert's cunning and revulsion at his willingness to kill to protect his secret. With mounting evidence, Carter knew he had to act quickly. Robert, once seen as a benevolent community leader, was now unmasked as a man capable of murder to preserve his facade. Carter chose to confront Robert discreetly, away from the media and curious neighbors. He and his partner arrived at Robert's office, where he was in the midst of a meeting, exuding his usual calm professionalism. When Carter began questioning him, Robert's voice dropped to a whisper. He confessed that Sarah had met him in the woods, threatening to expose his affair to Amanda and Elena's husband. Robert claimed he panicked, terrified of losing everything he'd built. Tears filled his eyes as he described losing control in a moment of desperation. Robert admitted to orchestrating the narrative to frame Amanda, exploiting the known tensions between her and Sarah to deflect suspicion. He had meticulously planted clues to shift the focus from himself. As Carter arrested him, Robert's only request, delivered in a soft, broken voice, was, "Please don't tell Elena what I've done." The once confident man was led away in handcuffs, his world collapsing as the truth came to light. The trial spanned 2 weeks. After just a few hours of deliberation, the jury delivered its verdict. Robert was guilty on all charges, including first-degree murder. The judge condemned the cruelty of the crime and Robert's attempts to deceive the police, sentencing him to life in prison without parole. Justice was served, but the wounds left behind ran deep. Those hurt by Robert's actions would need years to heal. His story underscores the resilience of those who endure unimaginable pain and the importance of pursuing truth, no matter how arduous. Sarah may have lost her life, but her voice, through her diary, her courage, and her quest for truth, secured justice. Even in silence, she spoke powerfully. If you're eager for more true crime stories, like and subscribe to our channel. What punishment do you think Robert deserved? Share your thoughts in the comments, and remember, life is fleeting, so live it to the fullest. Someone out there loves you.